At Vibrafinance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vibrafinance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vibrafinance, we are the future of crypto.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Vibra Live. Man, what a good weekend we had talking with a couple projects in the TitanX ecosystem, Wonderland on Pulse Chain. It's great to see that there's so much excitement in the TitanX ecosystem right now. It's kind of like, it reminds me of how Hex was in the early days when we didn't really know what was coming, what was happening. We thought that the future could be extremely bright. And all of our dreams came true. But unfortunately, a lot of us drank the Kool-Aid. We staked for 15 years, not a majority of our bag, but a lot of it. It sacrificed the short-term gains, thinking, we'll be all right. This is the move, not knowing that the worst bear market of all time was upon us. But you know what? You learn. And then that's what the bear market is for, to reflect on, all right, what did we do good this last bear market or this bull market? What did we screw up? What can we get better on? And I feel like this cycle, this is the time now where we start to crush. Just looking here, Fetch AI, I was in that at like 4 or 5 cents. I was in AGIX too, both of them, but I got out at both of them at around a 15x. And it was the move because I rotated them into GPU, into Layer AI, into Cubic. So once you make profits in a coin, it's like what Fetch, now that they're ASI, their market cap is 3 billion. What's the upside from here? Like a 15x? That's great. We don't want 15x's around here. That's chump change. Starknet, good. Get the VC shit out of here. I don't even want to see it. Let's check our babies. Optimism, though, that's the one that I'm looking at right there. The ZenFTs are in beast mode right now. Shout out to all you guys that were here last summer when we were minting the ZenFTs on Pulse Chain, on Optimism, and on Matic. We weren't sure which ones were going to be the best. And now, a year later, who would have thought that Optimism was the one where there's no longer a reward. So when you mint on Zen, on Ethereum, there's, you get whatever, millions of coins each day, you earn time, time pays you those coins. Well, there's still 2,900 days left of Zen for it to be profitable. OP Zen, it's finished. It's the one, it's now leading the way. And these things are going to keep pumping, guys. I had my bag of Velodrome. I had 1,000 coins, and now I have over 2,100. And that's from the ZenFTs in the last month. And I'm building a bag of perp, too. I have a ZenFT coming out every other day for the next 3 months. And each one is about 300 million, 310 million. And that's like 0.008 ETH, maybe. And it's 2 cents. It was 39 cents to mint one. But it's insane how profitable they are. The hexes. Let's go. I've been buying more hexes all bear market. When I get my rewards from Alien, my rewards from Pulse Reflections, from VRX, from any of these reflection coins, even the ink farms. I just pulled out my Pulse and Pulse X out of the pools. Now that it's about 2 to 1. That's perfect. I'm right where I want to be. I got into the pools at 3.7 and rode it all the way up. Increase in my bag of Pulse X. So gotta love that. Of my Pulse chain. So now I'm just riding with a little bag of Pulse X. I think I got 100 million Pulse X and maybe 25 million Pulse Chain. And that's all I'm keeping liquid. Everything else is invested into the altcoins in the ecosystem. Like I just loaded up. I got almost a billion PRS down here at the bottom for $129. And we crushed it in this coin last summer when this thing was in beast mode. Look at this. And it was right around my birthday last year. Like right around this time, I had Zach on stream and this thing just went parabolic. And how funny is that? Like, we're setting up for almost a year later on the dot. So I'm looking forward to it. We got so much going on. But I'm waiting for Sologenics, man. Every time I open up this deck screener, sense like this, it's criminally undervalued. But over the 10,000 solo mark, which is a freaking still a pleb. I mean, that's like $700 or something that I've been accumulating it. But it's just so hard. I got other things to focus on. And I know when solo takes off, I'm going to say, God, why didn't I buy more? But you know what? I'm happy. I got it. It's nice to see Realio's pumping today. The real world asset play on Stellar. I like this thing has flattened out. And it looks like we should start pumping again. Yeah. I mean, we're ready to go. We're ready to go with Realio. I'm not a TA guy. I just know it. We have been going sideways for so freaking long that we're not breaking below this trend here. I mean, all spring we were down at 60 cents. That was the floor, and sure enough, we bounced right off of it again. So Realio's ready to go. Veracity. I mean, scooping this up at 1/4 of a cent is absolutely insane to me. But for $70 or something, I think I got like 30 or 40,000 coins, which is crazy. Everything is so suppressed, and we're going to move so fast, guys. Everybody right now is under a spell. These markets are ass backwards. XRP should be the #1 crypto in the world. There's no reason XRP should not be #1. Well, there is a reason. It's not ready yet. But if the public knew what was really going on, and we are so close to that happening, I think Japan is going to release a CBDC this year. I think Ripple will be, SBI Holdings is going to be really profitable, and that's going to spill into Ripple. They own 10% of their private equity, and it's just all setting up, guys, for the huge, I don't even want to say the Trojan horse. It's just the huge rug pull is coming. I bet you, how many of you guys knew this? That our boy, Mikey Saylor, this guy's a fucking asshole. Look at him. Does that guy look like he's an honest guy? Or does he look like he will tell you anything and he is a snake oil salesman? I mean, those aren't laser eyes. Those are, I hate my life. Why am I here? Get me the hell out of here. Those are not happy guy eyes. But did you know that Michael Saylor lost big in the dot-com bubble? Now he aims to rebound. This was from 2 years ago. MicroStrategy stock collapsed in 2000. The now former CEO flew under the radar. Crypto changed all that. I wonder why. Crypto changed all that. Was he the one that the SEC said and he cut a deal with? I don't know. Michael Saylor is down about $1 billion on his Bitcoin bet and just stepped down as CEO of MicroStrategy. But that was old news. I don't care about that. Being in a tight spot is familiar territory for the 57-year-old Saylor. After the dot-com bubble burst in March 2000, Jim Cramer pointed to the collapse of MicroStrategy as the catalyst. Guys, what do you know? How ironic would it be? And this is how the world works. Jim Cramer says MicroStrategy was the catalyst that brought down the dot-com bubble. The stock tumbled 62% in a single day, erasing $6 billion from Saylor's wealth. Well, guess what? This time, Bitcoin's going to drop 66%, and he's going to erase you know, it's going to be like 9.1 billion or 13.3. They use the craziest numbers all the time. It's always sixes. The 6 billion from his wealth marked the prominent end of the high-flying days of the early internet. Later that year, the SEC brought and then settled accounting charges against MicroStrategy, Saylor, and other executives. So he struck a deal. Saylor and MicroStrategy then spent 2 decades mostly under Wall Street's radar. Now that he was suffering, MicroStrategy kept plugging away, developing software for businesses. Saylor lived in Miami Beach, Florida, a mansion that looks like a Spanish colonial palace. A recent reporter revealed he has painted shrubs in the foyer ceiling, gold paneling, and crimson red wallpaper in the dining room. A stage beyond the office library stocked with guitars, drums, and whatever else might portray Michael Saylor and the 80s rock star that he wishes he was, and just faded and ended up the SEC's little bottom bee. A yacht was floating out back where a crew lived full time so Saylor could travel wherever he wanted. What brought him back to center stage was Bitcoin. His fear of inflation drove him in 2020 to start investing MicroStrategy's cash into the original cryptocurrency. So guys, is this not like, does this really feel authentic now? That MicroStrategy allegedly caused, according to Jim Cramer, MicroStrategy caused the dot-com boom. And now MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor are front and center of Bitcoin, the biggest Ponzi scheme in all of crypto. He became something like a Bitcoin preacher, spouting religiously fervent praise. His grandiose predictions, including that one Bitcoin will eventually be worth 100 trillion, roughly what all the stocks in the world are worth now. Guys, come on. Do you not see what's going on here? I'll tell you. They used MicroStrategy. I mean, obviously, Bitcoin became popular. And in order, what is the thing that's coming faster than ever and is going to change the world in the next couple of years? AI, right? What do they need for AI? Massive amounts of computing power and what? A huge decentralized network. And what better infrastructure to use Bitcoin's for AI? They decentralized AI is the future. And do you not see what's coming here? Bitcoin is literally the Trojan horse to get it out in front of everyone, get all these mining rigs set up, all these mining farms, and then once XRP or once something happens in Japan, once there's this liquidity crisis that comes, a black swan, whatever you want to call it, there's going to be a major liquidity crisis. That's why Warren Buffett right now is sitting on the sidelines with $280 billion. To Warren Buffett, back in 2008, he was the savior. The Fed, I don't know if it was the Fed or the SEC or the bankers, but they went to Uncle Warren and they said, look, you're going to buy up all these, all this debt, you're going to save the market, and you're going to make a shitload of money. And now it all makes sense. How does Berkshire Hathaway not pay tax? How do they not pay tax? I mean, they're a hedge fund, they're an investment company, whatever you want to call them. But they're like a church, the only company out there like that. So Warren Buffett somehow got the golden ticket. Like all of this stuff in the economy, the business world, guys, it's all not what we think. It's all not, it's unorganic. I'm going to say that. It's not just natural. These business leaders and these moguls and these CEOs, the Elon Musks, how could Elon Musk, the smartest man in the world, how could you really be the CEO of all these different companies? One CEO's job is so demanding, the amount of meetings, flying, travel. You can't be productive at 4 companies. So Michael Saylor, he went broke. He was doing something back in the day, and he cut a deal where when Bitcoin becomes popular, you're going to be the freaking, You're going to be the face of it so we can build out this infrastructure that we're going to need for AI and for compute. That's what is happening right now. Even with Ethereum, ETH is great, but the tech, I don't know about. I'm not sold on it. I'm just not. I know that XRP is the solution, and when you start digging into it, and the connections now with Starlink, with the quantum financial system that's coming, with alleged Tesla towers, that's basically free energy. Exactly, Tinta. I don't trust Elon. Like the whole rocket, I've heard from people I trust that privately he tells his friends space is fake and gay. So he knows. Elon knows what's up, but Elon is building the infrastructure while Bitcoin is laying the infrastructure for all the decentralized AI, which it's called proof of useful work. This is nothing new. Chaos Chris has been talking about it, and we found this 8 months ago with Sparks. No, with all the AI stuff we were looking into with GPU and Cubic and Tau. So the infrastructure is now there. Bitcoin is run by Tether or pumped up by Tether, which has never had an audit. So the second Tether has an audit, it's all over. The second that Japan, the carry trade is over, look what happened within 2 days. So it's just a ticking time bomb, but they have the solution ready. And Bitcoin is not it. Elon with SpaceX, whatever, I think it's a distraction. And to have you looking at rockets in the sky. Meanwhile, what he's doing is he's putting satellites or balloons all over, Starlink balloons, receive, whatever you want to call them, all over the planet. That way we can it beams internet from up there. And then with the combination of those Starlink things and drones that constantly fly around, you can beam internet all around the world. And this new financial system, all of the quantum compute, all that stuff can run on this Starlink separate to the stuff that we use. It can all settle on those net layers, I think. And then we can use our own public, open source, decentralized blockchains. And then all the banking and the private stuff, the Fed, all the digital dollars, all that shit is going to be done on Starlink, on the quantum financial system. I really think that's what's coming. And I finally see what they're doing to kind of just fool us all in a sense. So Michael Saylor, he's the puppet. I think he's out here shilling Bitcoin, telling everyone about it, and then it's gonna just fade into oblivion. The second, why exactly? Why wasn't he there when everybody else was super, super passionate about it years before? Where was he with Peter Thiel, with Richard Hart, with fake Toshi? You know, he just came out of nowhere. And just looking at the past, just the fact that Jim Cramer blamed MicroStrategy for the collapse of the .com bubble. Guys, like, how often are we hearing now that the stock market, the markets are so similar to the .com bubble and AI is going to be the .com bubble? Michael Saylor created it. And he's going to create this next bubble too. Just watch. He's going to be the fall man again. And maybe that's his role. Maybe that was his role all along, was to be the guy who had these new tech companies that just kept failing, but he was super popular and, you know, he just got his fame and his status and his power. I don't know, but it makes sense. I don't know. I'm just completely making this up. But I don't know. I don't think it's organic. BSV, if anything, if anything, BSV is 1,000 times better. That's what just makes no sense. Like Bitcoin, BSV is so much better than the original Bitcoin. It's super fast. You can do a ton of transactions. It can scale. Like it should be the one that's worth more money. If you're basing the market on utility, and that's, guys, the biggest change that's coming is utility is going to lead the market really soon. I think we're so close to that flip, to that the switch being flipped to utility. And exactly, Thomas, Warren Buffett knows, and everyone funding Bank of America is completely wrong. Ripple is tied in with Bank of America. Warren Buffett, why now is he starting to have interest in these regional banks? Because they're all going under, and he's going to acquire them all and just funnel it right up the pyramid in the Bank of America. And he's got his $280 billion, and he gets to play savior again. So do you see how this stuff works? It's like, for Warren Buffett's the good guy. He saves the day in '08. His company, Berkshire Hathaway, is now doesn't have to pay taxes for God knows how long. And he's now accumulated $280 billion to save the day in this new collapse. And he's going to turn that into $1 trillion probably in the next 20 years. So his kids and whoever takes over Berkshire Hathaway for the next 50 years, they work hand in hand with the government, and they own and control the markets with BlackRock, with State Street, with Fidelity. And then they have the Elon Musks, who are these gurus that just have, Elon and pushing. Oh, look, Elon Tesla is pushing the electric car agenda, the ESG nonsense. Elon, SpaceX, let's get to Mars. Let's do all this stuff that will never happen. We'll never deliver. We'll go there next year. We'll go there in 5 years. We'll get back. Every time it's just a false promise that they know they're never going there, but it's never ending pipe dreams, funneling money in. And then he's building Starlink, which is the real important thing. And while everyone's eyes are on SpaceX and Michael Saylor and Ripple and the Starlink infrastructure, that's what is the key. And also, too, I think it's the tunneling. I don't know if facing reality is right or not, but he says that there's tunnels that have been existing for millennia that are being hidden. And I wouldn't be surprised if Elon, they're alleging his boring companies making these new highways under LA. I wouldn't be surprised if they were already there and he's just like paving them or something. And these tunnels exist all over the country, and they're just going to open them back up. And maybe they could be hiding. I don't know, guys. There's so much crazy stuff that you start finding just when you look for truth, when you start looking at what the hell's going on with the Federal Reserve. What is all this just jumble that comes out of Jerome Powell's mouth? These words that he just can't speak coherently. It's like it's purposely meant to just confuse you and keep you tricked. And then you see just how they flood the market with $20 trillion in 4 years. Who profits off of that? Who made all that money? Where did it all go? And then you look at like the FTX stuff and Sam Bankman-Fried having hundreds of shell accounts all around the world that just funneled money into them. Like, where does all that go? And you just start following the money, and you just start uncovering these crazy scams that on the surface, the public, it's completely one thing. And then you realize, oh my God, this is way different than that. This is criminal what's going on. And it's just one thing after another in the world. But it is what it is. Without truth, without figuring out, without lying to yourself, you just accept what's going on, and then it's on us to build a solution. Instead of just sit here and bitch and say, oh my God, they're going to enslave us with CBDCs and they want to feed us bugs. And okay, well, if you're watching porn all day and then, you suck at your job, you don't have any kids or family, and then you go out to the bars all night, you just suck. I mean, what do you do with people like that? It's tough. That's why like having a family, being close to them, having kids, being present, having a farm, growing your own food. We used to have so much more technology. Like, we're so brainwashed into thinking that we're the smartest civilization ever. And, back 1,000 years ago with these sticks and shovels and horses, these idiots that just lived in tents and teepees. No, I completely disagree. Andrew Jackson or Thomas Jefferson ran their plantations at 11 years old. Ran plantations at 11. And now, what is the average 11-year-old capable of in this country? What is the average reading level of an American is 6th grade. Of an adult, the average American's reading level is the 6th grade reading level. And you're telling me we're the smartest we've ever been right now? Oh my God. And then you find out that Rockefeller in like 1902 completely change the education system in America. And fact, he said, I want a country of workers, not thinkers. It's like, wow. So the richest guy in the world wants a generation of workers, huh? And then the World's Fair, they start pushing dinosaurs and space and all this nonsense, and then they erase all the old history. All those buildings and the World's Fairs that they allegedly built, they were all there. And now it's all destroy it all and tell us this new history. And it's wild when you start to see it all. And it sounds crazy at first. You're like, oh my God, this guy's crazy, da 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 da. But no, once you start doing your own research, you can't, unless you want to lie to yourself, unless you're incapable of saying, you know what, all the stuff I learned in school from day one when I was told that we're spinning around a billion miles an hour or 666,000 miles an hour. The sun is 93 billion miles an hour away or miles away. And it's not the same size as them, but the moon and the sun, they look the same size to me. When there's an eclipse, they're the same size, but one's 93 billion miles away, the other one's right here. It's like none of it doesn't make sense. So as a kid, when you're the most vulnerable, when you're the most curious, when you could be tricked, you're now told the opposite of what your eyes tell you, of what your common sense tells you, and that shit is devastating over the course of 20 years. You have a question in class. I don't know. This doesn't make sense. I don't. How did we come from monkeys? Shut up. Go to the office. You're bad. We need to medicate you. Really? You think we came from monkeys? Huh. Okay. Well, I disagree. I don't think we did. Oh, you're bad student, crazy. Get him out of here. So it's like, unless you just sit there, shut up, and just regurgitate shit, it's like, is that really learning? So now, I don't know, guy. But it's on us. My point is, we have the ability to build our own future. We're gonna have a lot of money from crypto. If this cycle does what a tenth of what I think it could do, we're gonna be in such an amazing spot. I mean, all these Titan X coins are on fire, and they're on dip right now. Like everything is on a dip. And that's just the way these things go right now, is with all the different buy and burns, all these different protocols. They're going to move up and down, up and down. But the dips are what you get in for. And I'm super excited for Hydra. Like this is one that I'm really waiting for. If you can go to docs.hydra.win and read the white paper, and it's kind of like on Pulse Chain, how you see the evolution of what's going on. When last summer it was Pulse Reflections and Vortex and PTGC had just came out, and they were all being labeled as safe moon 2.0s and scams, and reflection tokens suck, and oh, we don't want this. And now look at a year later, how incredible it is to be in the ecosystem, how much passive income we're making, how you shouldn't have to stake your coin to get yield. That's crazy. I want to just get my diehard or any of Sunny's ecosystem, any of these coins on the Pulse chain, diehard, rewarder, 414, Pulse Xmas pays you Pulse, Hex LP, just for holding this coin automatically gives you EHEX and PHEX in the LP pair. So just for holding it, you're getting every day. So you want to claim it, you just go to the Pulse X app, go to the liquidity tab, connect your wallet, and your pairs will just be there. I'm earning Bitcoin right now for holding rewarder. Like I'm earning like the equivalent to Bitcoin on Pulse Chain. It's like 0.002 or something like that. It's like $11, but who cares? That's for holding a coin. I don't have to stake it. And just think, when Pulse Chain does a 50, 100x, how much are these rewards going to be? So these are the opportunities right now. This is when you need to be buying these charts that are super suppressed. Titan X is going to go crazy, guys. We are literally on the point of going hyper deflationary. Sorry, before I had all the tabs set up, and that literally 5 minutes before I went to stream, my whole computer crashed. I lost all of them. So I tried to pull them back up and remember what I had, but kind of running and gunning today. Bro, look at this. Absolutely insane. $47 million has been burned already. There's less liquid supply now of Titan X than there's been bought and burnt. Check that out. 63 billion liquid, trillion liquid, 65 trillion burned. So we are now over that hump. And over the next couple months, I don't have the Dune analytics up. But if you look at the stats, it just goes straight off a cliff, the amount that's coming out. And with all these protocols building on top, there's already now on this list 22 coming. And there's going to be a couple hundred. Each one of them is going to be taking Titan X off the market. Oh my God, guys. And we were getting made fun of last summer. Chris and myself and all these guys. When we talked to Jake, we read the white paper. There was nothing. Even Trayvon was fudding it for I don't know how long. I haven't seen what he's up to, but I guarantee you he's talking about Titan X and shit now. I guarantee it. Everything that we talked about, we're 6 months ahead of the stream. And then the bigger guys, same thing. PTGC, PDI, Atropa, Titan X, the utility coins. What else were we ahead of? Stronghold and Velo. We were screaming about them the end of last year. And now they're starting to pop off on Twitter. The whole H-bar ecosystem. No one's talking about it right now. Saucer Swap, Karate, Dovu. There's some great projects over there that are just completely down in the dumps. Price prediction for XRP, but it's impossible. And anybody that's going to give you a price prediction, it's basically just pulling a number out of their ass because retail cannot drive XRP's price up. I'm going to say that again. Retail, which is all of us plebs around here, retail owns like 1.2 billion or 1.5 billion of the coins. It's less than 2% of the supply. XRP is not meant for retail. They don't care about us. There's so little in our hands. That's why it's suppressed. That's why more and more people are capitulating every day. And less people can hold on and say, you know what? It's been 10 years now. This coin's never going to do anything. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. If you look at the XRP chart and you go back and look at Amazon's chart, they are literally identical. Identical from when they both went sideways for 6 or 7 years. I brought it up on stream a couple weeks ago, and it is insane. So XRP's price, bro, it cannot move until we have stablecoin legislation in place, which could be, I don't know how long. And then we need to have clawbacks, identity, and there's 3 more amendments that have to pass. You can go and look on the website and see, but until those 3 amendments are passed, we have stablecoin legislation passed. Japan has to have launched their CBDC. Until all that happens, nothing is going to happen with the price of XRP. Like retail can't change. We might go to $3, great. But once Japan breaks and they they launch their CBDC, and it's public knowledge that Bank of America and all these banks hold a shitload of XRP, and it's probably going to be rebranded into a tier 1 asset or rebranded to a tier 1 asset. And that way the banks that hold a shitload of it, now all the problems with mortgages, the real estate market, all of that is negated once XRP's price goes up. And then the Fed, they can just, I think gold is $40 on their balance sheet right now. So they just use the real value for gold and they're fine. So there's so many instant fixes. All these fear porn guys out here, Linda P. Jones shooting her little cannons, buy gold. It's all crashing. Peter Schiff. Guys, they're all fucking salesmen trying to sell you their own gold and make money. Like as all of this chaos that's happened this year and the world's ending and wars and viruses and monkeypox, stock market's still making a new all-time high. Go figure. You just have to look at the Fed and what they're doing. And they're injecting money all around the world or all around the country. Japan raised, look what happened. Disaster. So China's cut. Canada's cut. I think the UK's cut. And we're going to be next. And that's going to be the catalyst from our markets are going to rip like crazy. as soon as we get rate cuts. They got Cubic is, you got to look into this. If you don't have this coin, Cubic right now is the 4th biggest supercomputer in the world. This is the coin I'm most bullish on. AI coin, by far, I'm the most bullish on. If they pull this off, if AI Garth, when that comes out, we got about 2 years probably until this is the one. But now's the time you need to get into this coin if you want. If you want my favorite AI coin, it's Cubic. It's hard to get. You got to get it on Trade Ogre or MEXC. It's not on exchanges yet, and they just hired like 6 brilliant people to come work for them. They brought over a guy that was at Filecoin for 5 years. They poached him. It's the AI play for sure right now is Cubic. I think, the ecosystem with the most upside right now, Pulse Chain and TitanX by far. If you want real DeFi, like I look at it like I want my stuff that is going to be used by BlackRock, that the banks are going to use, which is XRP, Stellar, Hedera, Quant, Flare. Like I want that. And then I want the equivalent of what they're going to be using for what us, like the smartest, DeFi nerd tech geeks out there. What DeFi are they get when we are all our own banks in 3 years, when we all control all of our assets, when our car titles are tokenized and we're taking loans off against it to go chase some meme coin, when all my Pokemon cards are tokenized and put on the blockchain, and I put them in some lending pool and pull off of it to go spin some wheel on a casino. Once that world happens, oh man, I can't wait. And we're so close to that shift in the market where if we start seeing pumps in certain coins when this market takes off, like, oh man, I'm just so excited. And I know the meme coins are great, but it's over. We're never going to see that nonsense again. Look at this. Solana fees plunged to 6-month low amid declining in pump.fun popularity. Damn. The gig is up. Look how fast the crowd left. Is there any loyalty in Solana? Hell no. Zero. The XRP community's loyal. Cardano's loyal. Pulse Chain community's loyal. And the TitanX community right now is one of a kind in crypto. But I wouldn't do that. Like your XR, like XLM, Velo, and Stronghold are gonna crush Stellar. So that it's a leverage play on Lobster Wallet, getting Velo and Stronghold. They're gonna crush XLM. So right now is when you move from XLM into Stronghold and Velo and ride them this bull market, and then swap, back, and then that's how you stack your XLM. And with your XRP, XRP, I'm buying too and slowly stacking, but to not be in the TitanX ecosystem, like to be in an awesome community where it's pure DeFi, there's going to be 100 projects building on top, and TitanX, the only way to get it was to take 0.2 ETH and start a miner, or you could market buy it. And it's only been out for a year, but the tokenomics of it are one of a kind, and they've gotten better with all the projects on top. They've tweaked it and launched new protocols on top, which burn more of the supply, and it's about to just go hyper deflationary. Safe trade. Yep. Yeah, bro. I use Trade Ogre, and I think it's like their sister exchange, because I had no KYC, nothing. But I've never had a problem. Every deposit I made goes right through. I buy what I need to and withdraw it right off, and it's worked every single time. But yeah, definitely is sketchy. But it's good to have them too, though, to have your safe trade, to have your Trade Ogre, because when Bitstamp and Coinbase and Gemini, they're gonna go down once volume goes crazy, and you're gonna want your MEXCs and these smaller exchanges out there, because there's nowhere to sell. So people are going to be going there, and I will even pay a premium for that, because I remember last cycle multiple times where coins were pumping, and unless it was something like an ERC20 you could sell on Uniswap, when all the exchanges went down, you were screwed. So you got to think about that this cycle. Do you have multiple on and off ramps to sell and liquidate stuff to. If Uniswap, if it's not something you can use on a DEX, you'll have a couple backup plans. But yeah, it's all over for Solana. And then with the election guy, I think where the bottom is in. I don't think we go any lower now. I just don't see it. If once Kamala and Trump start talking about it and it's printed all over and starting talking about in the press, and they have clips now of Kamala talking about it, I don't think we're going lower, guys. So if you've been waiting for 40K, I don't think it's happening. My gut tells me this was it. This was enough pain. We're 2 months away from the election now. I don't see it happening. And just the headlines are just so much more bullish and so much more positive. Like, this is huge. T0 secures approval to custody digital assets, becoming the second firm to get U.S. regulators to sign off. It's huge, guys. This is all what's happening. And also, too, coin like Bank Social. I love that project where they're a decentralized credit union. Where if I have some, I buy a tokenized bond or something, or they have different offerings through different pools over there. You just you do your one-time KYC, but then I think you have like a random number over there, and you can pull your money in and out, but it's just somewhere that you can store it and not just be a sitting duck on a ledger. But my point is, we're all going to be our own banks. We're all going to be in charge of our own crypto. We're going to all have our little AI that keeps us safe and searches the market, whatever you want it to do. Like, this stuff is going to change so fast. And these technologies and these coins that have a use case and catch on and start to be used rapidly in the next month, the buyout potential for all the Web 2 companies that are just sitting here with cash, that's what they're looking to do. I didn't even think about that until a couple days ago when I was talking to one of my friends. And that the acquisition galore is going to start coming. And once that happens, guys, it's just the floodgates are about to open. I thought this was going to happen a couple of years ago. I started looking at Sologenics and Corium and Flare in 2019 and 2020. And now it's 5 years later, and they're still working to get licensed and be able to operate across all these different jurisdictions. And it took way more time than I could ever imagine. But that's why, in the meantime, you can't just sit here and just put all your stuff into XRP and XLM and just hope for that switch to be flipped, because it could be another 5 years. They can kick this can down the road for God knows how long. It's the world around us that's going to collapse. That's the problem. It's not us. It's Japan. It's China. It's these other economies that we're crushing with interest rates up so high. And jobs are going to be shitty this week. So it's the pivots coming. The money printers, they have been on, but the public is going to think they're on. And that's going to send money into the crypto markets. As soon as they cut rates, there's $6 trillion in money markets. If they go 50 points, there's 50 reasons to pull that money out and go risk on, baby. So we're close. The infrastructure is almost built. And that's what they're doing right now. That's what all this stuff is for. The infrastructure has to be built for the banks, for the institutions. It's all got to be ready to go, battle tested. And then us retail can come in and nibble on the crumbs. It's so funny when MetaMask Institutional and Hex Trust, Hedera, HBAR's institutional DeFi, it's all up and running. Google is running a validator on Hedera. They have 30 of the biggest corporations in the world that are staking their coins, earning yield. But us as retail, we can't do it. It's very, very, very risky. It's so funny. Do I see any black swan events coming? It's going to happen. It's going to be Japan. Japan is going to be the catalyst that breaks something. And I think oil going to $100 breaks Japan. And then when we cut, it'll be the same effect as when they raised rates. And I think it lasted 8 days before everything went to shit. So if we cut 50 points, Japan breaks. So then that's going to cause a cascade of a shitload of treasuries being liquidated. all across the markets. China probably then starts selling because people don't understand. China too is screwed right now. They are not this superpower that's going to take over the world. Like they were reliant on this real estate Ponzi scheme that the bubble it's up. That shit is over with, and China is screwed. They don't have population. They have ghost cities everywhere, and I don't I don't see the digital yuan being the threat that all these doomsday fear porn spreaders make it seem to be. So it's going to be Japan. Once that happens, they're going to launch their CBDC. Ripple is going to be involved with it. SBI Holdings will be there. They have 69 or 70 banks that are already set up to go for cross-border payments and banks with XRP. And once that happens, the rest of the world has to get onto that standard. And already that's why Russia approved crypto for payments for oil and all this stuff. So we're all just being played. I wouldn't be surprised if all this shit's up and running already. And we're just being sold shit like we're told freaking Jim Cramer is blaming Michael Saylor for, crashing the .com bubble. Like this is once I read this, guys, I was like, holy shit. It didn't, I must not have saw this article a couple of years ago, but the fact that there's no way that the inverse Cramer is the guy to the markets. If Cramer's bullish, get out. If he's bearish, get in. So he blamed MicroStrategy for the .com collapse. And what do you know? Jim Cramer's final shot before he sails off into the sunset is going to be Bitcoin causes the crypto collapse. And that's going to be the black swan, bro, is Bitcoin going down. Bitcoin is fucking useless. It sucks. It can't be used for payments. And it's not digital. If once XRP, right, starts going live, I mean, all XRP guys, they're going for the derivatives market, right? That's the end goal. Stock market and derivatives. That's what they want. And custody as well. That's where all the money is too. I don't think they care about ODL anymore. It's probably nice, but whatever. So once XRP passes Bitcoin, Bitcoin's no longer digital gold. And that's what it is right now. We just all have never seen this world where Bitcoin's not number one. And the fact that it's number one, we just equate it to digital gold. The second it's number 3, number 4, number 5. Is it digital bronze? Is it digital copper at that point? No. And at that point, I think the Tether Ponzi scheme is revealed. Germany looks like the smartest country again. And just like in world after WW Dose, we were told that they lost. We blew up their country, but I don't think they lost. I think they left and they settled elsewhere, and they kept a lot of value, money, whatever. And just like we're being told Germany are idiots for selling all that Bitcoin, just watch. They're going to be the brilliant ones that front ran the collapse, the only ones that didn't hold on to it. And they're going to be the ones that are up running the world again because they got out of Bitcoin and put it into God, who knows what. They probably bought XRP with it or something. Like Germany's ahead. That was the smartest move they could have made. And Bitcoin is the Trojan horse that's going to come down, but it was for a reason, to get the infrastructure in place, to get that network out there. So the proof of work can now be transitioned to proof of useful work, mining, decentralized AI, or not mining, or having the network, the infrastructure there for these decentralized AI models to be trained on. So that's what's going to happen in the mainstream over there. Stellar, Stronghold, Velo, Sologenics, Ripple Labs, XRP, Quant, maybe IOTA a little bit, HBAR. Those are the winners on that side. And then on DeFi, Richard Hart is GOAT. What Richard's building with Pulse Chain, once he inevitably moves his entire empire, Richard Hart is a giga billionaire. Once his fortune is moved over to the Pulse Chain and there's billions and billions of dollars in value on the Pulse Chain, it will solidify itself as the number one place to go for DeFi because of PDI. Because the stable coin he's building with PDI right now is going to be the only stable coin in the world that cannot be shut down. It can't be turned off like Tether, like Circle, like Ripple stablecoin. They all are going to, those are the CBDCs, guys. Do you want to hold USDC when they can shut your wallet down and freeze those keys so you can't use USDC? That's bullshit. So once people realize that USDC is the CBDC, Ripple Labs is stablecoin, is the CBDC, I just pray there's enough liquidity in these pools. These guys know what they're doing, and there's going to be enough to sustain and keep this coin pegged. It's going to move from 75 cents to $1.25. And right now you can buy into PDI. It's at fractions of a penny. And we've done hundreds of hours of research. You can go follow 9 Iron Capital on Twitter. You can go follow Chaos Chris. You can go follow Sunny Detective. Like, these guys, all they do is research. And Richard Hart is control. I think ever since that guy died, Richard's controlling Maker. I think Richard owns that Gnosis chain or is involved with it. I think that's his wallet. And this stable coin here is going to change the game. I promise you. So this is the biggest opportunity. This is the biggest story in crypto that no one knows about, because people are going to realize USDC and there's no stable coin that's really decentralized that you can use until PDI. Right there. And when they back it with all of the value on Pulse Chain, with these thousands of liquidity pools and the 7D chess being played over there, we can't lose, guys. I just told you, I know what's coming with Stellar, with XLM, with Starlink, the quantum financial system. We're in all those coins. We nailed it. Flare, XRP, Sologenics, Velo, Stronghold, Quant. Boom. We got it. And then you need to get in to Pulse Chain, TitanX, and Real DeFi. PDI, the only stablecoin that has a chance. Think of that. If you don't want the government being able to watch every dollar you spend, you have to root for PDI. You have to pray that stablecoin ends up being successful, or the PUSD algo, one of those algorithmic stablecoins, has to come out of Pulse Chain, because if Richard can't do it, nobody can. No one has the funds, the connections. At this point, it's too late. It's either Richard or no one. So we need to all just realize how important PDI is. And right now, I mean, this coin is sitting at 0.002. So to get to even say 75 cents, where I think the peg will be 75 cents to $1.25 from what I'm being told. So, what's that? Like a 300x or something right there? I mean, it's crazy. It's so obvious, guys. Like, so Lola here says Zen might go up in 2025, and says even I ain't buying PDI. So there's someone that has done zero research and will lie to themselves, because people that are way smarter than me, that have dedicated a year of their lives studying the blockchain, studying all these wallets, pretty much prove if you take time and go follow P.9 Iron Capital, go read through every one of his tweets, go watch Coexistence Stevens streams about Atropa and that whole ecosystem, and then get into affection and dysnomia, what's coming. And if you have the brain capacity to understand what's going on, if you could spend a week or so doing that research and then come back and say you're not buying it and give me a reason, I won't block you. But I'm not here to waste my time for stupid people to just say stupid shit. So, I have my Zen. I love my Zen FTs on Optimism. They're crushing right now. But Jack fucked up. It's way too diluted. Now he's praying on X1. Like, I don't like that shit. And until Richard can come out and stream and be himself again, we got to carry this. And this is the most important project in all of crypto. And people are sleeping on it because I'm going to post that interview with Danelle Dixon and Jenny Johnson from Franklin Templeton. And they're laughing and giggling in this 40-minute interview. And they get talking about the FBI and the Department of Justice and how they just met with them and how they just love Circle and Tether because they are the best friends of law enforcement. Any criminal stupid enough to use it, everything you've done is on the blockchain and your keys can be shut down. So you can amass a fortune in your wallet and boom, you can't even ever move it out of there. So you're screwed. And that's why we need to be able to transact freely. And this coin right here is the only hope for us to use crypto for how it was created and invented. Like the banking system, it's a nightmare. They ask you why you're spending your money. Do you want the same thing to happen with crypto? And to be asked why are you spending these stable coins here? Why did you spend those over there? Like that's what's coming with that shit. So I just don't think it's going to happen in America. I think if anything, they pull it off in China, Australia, maybe Europe, but people will just revolt here. And it's not, I don't think it's going to happen. There's too many good guys in the lower part of politics who aren't, I don't even know what you call them, actors, or who aren't put there, who are organic. There's enough of them out there that can keep the tyrannical shit out, and stuff that is common sense will be gone. They won't let it in here unless I'm hearing rumors that the country is going to be divided up into like basically 3 territories where you're going to have the like California woke, just outrageous shit. And then you're going to have your conservative, like, Bible Belt down south. And then the AI metaverse, just chip yourself up and 15-minute smart cities. You're stuck in those. So I don't know where this is. I think it's all just bullshit. It's all just fear porn. And it's all just a way to keep you distracted so you don't go grow a garden, start a family, and actually become a threat to the system. You just plug into this new matrix and whatever, but we ain't doing that. We're taking our profits and we're building a community. We're going to have an awesome homestead. We're going to have organic food, homeschooling for kids, and just show you that anything's possible. That even the tax codes in America are set up for you to start your own small business, employ your neighbor, employ your friend. That it's set up that way. And when America was great 50, 75 years ago, everyone had a farm. Everyone could grow a tomato, and we lost that. So we're going to be bringing that back here. Vibrafinanceville's coming soon. And TitanX getting drawn in the red. I'm not even looking anywhere else yet. So JG, it's a mistake, bro. I'm gonna show you why. So if you've been holding TitanX, right? If you didn't know about JakeX, you missed out on a 60X. Where I had to get rid of it. But all right, so even Inferno. All right, let's look at it against TitanX. Since you can even go mint Inferno right now. The mint phase is I think still live. So I know it's outperforming it. I mean, it's not much, but still, I mean, you're up probably like 2 or 3x, and it's just getting started with that protocol. If you look at baby DragonX, let's see how DragonX has done against TitanX. I think it's up like 15x. Yeah, look at that. So if you had I did all max miners day 1. And when day 280 came, I think I swapped half. No, it wasn't even half. I think I did like 20% of my miners I put into DragonX. And that was I wish I did them all. I mean, it is absolutely just crushing. I mean, yeah, at least a 10x. And it's going to happen, and it's going to keep outperforming until day 369, in my opinion. I think that's going to be the point because they have the massive the day 369. I don't think I had DragonX's I don't. Let's see. Or was it Dragon X.win? Oh, the NFTs. But yeah, the day 369. Yeah, here the total Titan X vault. Look at that. The Dragon X vault has bought $1.1 trillion already. And I think I gotta go back and watch Chaos Chris's stream, but I know day 369 is so we got another like 50 days or so until I'm gonna be swapping my Dragon X back into Titan X because it's just easy ways to not have to take risks and you just ratio trade them. And if you say, okay, I had my Titan X, I don't want to get rid of it for anything except for maybe Dragon X or say you like Helios or you like Blaze or Hyper, whatever it is. I'm going to be doing Hydra. That's the one that I'm super excited for. That's coming up in the very near future here. You can go to docs.hydra.win. And this is going to be a good ecosystem, I think. But again, it's you don't want to do too much, right? You want to pick one or two that you like and then go from there. The Inferno. Yeah, it eventually, yeah, I don't know, but I'm not too sure. That's the thing. It very well could, but even Inferno has a huge amount in their buy and burn too. So if you just go to inferno.win, look at it. So every like half an hour, they just buy and burn, buy and burn, buy and burn. And right now, look at that, $1.1 million in there. And that's going to get deployed. So once this gets drained, then maybe we might, but this is going to pump Inferno against Titan X so hard. But once the burn is complete, then I don't know. Are the tokens, they'll have enough been burnt off the market? Nobody knows. And will Titan X go hyper deflationary before these protocols can or have enough time to do what they need to do? I mean, that's what nobody knows. And this is why I just love the ecosystem because I'm constantly talking to new people, learning about these new protocols. And the greatest thing is everybody here is supporting each other. Nobody's here like shitting on each other or making fun of each other. Everyone here is building because there's an incentive to. A portion of the ETH goes to future development of the ecosystem. And when you have money set aside for people to come along and build on top of, like, this shit is game changing. And all of us that are here now that did miners and are in here, 222 in here, I hope all of you have some exposure to this ecosystem. I hope all you have some exposure to Pulse Chain. I hope all you have some exposure to the XRP Ledger and then to Stellar and Velo and Stronghold. Like, I've done the research. I've been here every day for the last 5 years, talking to people, learning, being in AMAs, just never stopping. I don't want to stop learning. And if there's new shit that comes across my table or something that is a red flag that has to change my outlook on the future, oh, well, I was wrong about something. I'm going to update my view on it. And that's my thing is I might be wrong, but I'm never lying. Like, I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm going to give you my honest opinion about everything. And there's, very few people that are in the space that have been around crypto in different ecosystems and have talked to people over there, talked to builders, developers, projects. What do you like about it? What don't you like? How, and just, I don't know. I once you're here for long enough and you can just put your ego aside and just see things for what it is, you start to realize that these are the winning projects. And there's similarities between all of them in the Titan X ecosystem, in the Pulse Chain ecosystem, in the XRP army. I mean, all of the communities have that core belief that their project is the one. It's going to change the world. We're going to do so good with our money that we make. It's all the same thing. I promise you. But there's so much coming, guys, and we haven't even began to see anything yet. Richard Hart has 170,000 ETH, potentially more to play with. Titan X
The Buy and Burn has millions of dollars in it. Dragon X, all these vaults are starting to pile up. So we're going to start taking off. You're going to get left behind if you doubt this stuff. Don't get fudded out. Don't just listen to me. Go do research. People are going to lie to you because they're not honest with themselves. They either missed out on something. They either stay like me. I fucked up on Hex last cycle. I staked way too much, way too long. And it screwed me over for the next 10 years. But you know what? Year 12, 13, 14, I'll look like a genius. And I can say then in the future, oh, yeah, I did this on purpose. I knew this was coming and I was willing to sacrifice those shitty years when everyone else was getting rich and I was broke as shit, but it was the right move. No, I made the wrong move and it paid off. But now I learned that you make mistakes and you do better. You don't repeat them. And that's why being diversified across all these different ecosystems, that's your hedge against Richard Hart dying. Jake's ecosystem getting hacked. Brad Garlinghouse is a Russian spy and XRP is Chinese tech. Anything. You never know. You got to be diversified. And most importantly, you have to go against the grain. If you're just jumping on the herd, Bitcoin's going to 150,000 because everyone says so. I guarantee you Bitcoin is not past 120. I don't think Bitcoin's getting to 100. I think it'll get there for sentimental reasons only and touch it, and that's it. I don't think we're ever going to 120. So I'm going to be the one that goes against the herd. And I've just been early. Pretty much everything that we've researched and we've thought has played out. It's just taken a little bit more time. A little bit has happened, but for the most part, we've been spot on since we realized 40,000 stocks were going to be tokenized in 2020 and brought onto the blockchain and traded 24/7. What does that even mean? Now, one person can buy $20 of a share. If they want some $200 share, you could buy a portion of it, a fraction of one. Trading 24/7, you just start opening up your eyes to where this stuff can go. And that's where Flare comes in with the oracles and information on chain, not relying on Chainlink, a third party for your data. They need that data live. They need it instantly. That's why Flare is the best oracle out there. So anyone's showing you Chainlink right now, not telling you about Flare, they're doing you the disservice. They're not educated, or they have a huge bag of Chainlink and are incentivized to keep shilling it for their own profits because they know they're going to dump and run for the hills the second it gets to where they want it to. So this whole industry is not what you think. It's a bunch of liars. It's a bunch of just bullshit propped up on pedestals, and it's all going to come crashing down. But we know the projects that will be there when the crash happens, and all of the value will go to them. And we will end up winning so hard. It just takes time. People are going to tell you you're crazy. You don't know what you're doing. You shouldn't be investing in that. Do what you got to do. Go against the grain, and you will crush it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Smash that like button. We are denied monetization. We'll never be allowed $1 by YouTube. So you can give them a fuck you by smashing that like button. Appreciate all you guys.